compliance with EPD, hopefully stay in compliance with EPD, and once you get inspected and get fined, I try to minimize the fines and violations. I've been doing this for 17 years, and I've never really had anybody from an administrative standpoint helping me, because I was in the field all the time. But a couple of years ago, Jen came aboard and it's improved my program, or our program, 1,000%. I do the field compliance training, which I bring a book like this out to your site. I go with you item by item, every requirement for your station. All the records the EPD requires to maintain go in this book, and the book's organized around the EPD inspection form. So if you do exactly like I show you to do, when the inspector shows you your site, all you got to do is hand them the book and tell them to call me if there's any problems. Probably the biggest problem you'll come into is when they come up to inspect your store, they will see 3 years or 36 months of records. If you've only had the store for 2 weeks, you still got to come up with 3 years of records.
You really need to buy the store with the records. Gotta make, and that's one thing. I mean, even if you're not on the program, I have people call me quite frequently and say, you know, I heard you're the person to call. Do you know anything about this store I'm interested in buying? And I'll be more than happy to give you some, you know, free advice. Because it's very important. These things are so important because working with the EPD, because you don't have your records, it gets really, really involved.
For ECO?
I think so. That's the most important.
We got it. Let's hand that out.
Hand that out. I'm going to take over. Go. Okay, Bobby's going to hand out consent order forms that come from the EPD. And this is my area. This is where I work with the EPD. And I accept gift baskets. I just want everybody to know. Don't mind me, I have a little cold. So we go through this quite frequently, where Bobby is sent to a store that's already been fined. And the fines, this was actually a very small fine, $4,700. Okay, they're getting much, much higher. But after a lot of negotiating with the EPD, I was able to get this fine dropped down to $500. It's $4,200 difference. It's the price of our program, $500 a year. Okay. Not only that, if you look on page 2, the fine that's highlighted is $1,500 for monitoring records. And we will be reviewing monitoring records next.
Okay.
I was even able to negotiate the failure of the monitoring records down to $500 if you look on page 4. 1, 2, page 3. I was able to negotiate even the $1,500 down to $500. Okay? And so it's really important to keep your records as we tell you, and if you should be on, everybody should be on the program because we look out for you a lot.
Now, they won't be able to negotiate every price down. We've had 2 sites already that paid $4,500 in fine because they didn't have the record.
Yeah.
If you don't pay it, they shut your site down and you can't sell the fuel. They'll tag you out. Until you fix it, you can't sell fuel. The carrier will not drop the fuel and pop that tag off is what.
Yeah.
How much you find is that? 50,000?
Jail or something.
The most serious violation is when you get a letter from the EPD saying now they're going to put you on delivery prohibition, which means you can receive no more gasoline deliveries, and they'll remove you from the Gus Fund.
That's the worst.
You're out of business then. Really, you're being removed from the Gus Fund is bad from the standpoint. If you try to go out and buy private insurance in place of the Gus Fund, you have to have some type of financial mechanism to pay for the cost of cleanup. If your station lines ever leak gas, that tank insurance could be $2,000 or $3,000 a month, depending on how old your tanks are. But they're sending these letters by the hundreds every week now.
Sometimes you don't think I work fast enough, but I do. I promise you, 90% of the time. Anyways, we can negotiate a lot of these things down. Some of them we can't. We've got a lot of. I got a lot of tricks up my sleeve.
Yeah, we got a lot of.
And I got a lot of friends. I've made a lot of friends at the EPD, which is very good. So we got some tricks.
Yeah, you get a letter with a list of violations or fines. We try to figure out ways, see if you don't have the records, to come up with them. Our goal is to minimize your fines and penalties.
Yeah, as much as we can.
Our primary goal is we don't see it fined.
And I attach you to anything that I do for your store. And I'm available pretty much all the time. I require my executive time in the morning, but other than that,
I get emails from her like at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, she really
if I get up in the middle of the night, I'll answer your email at 3 o'clock in the morning. I promise you that. And I'm available evenings and weekends, and if you're getting inspected, I ask you to let me know. Send me the email that you're getting inspected. Sometimes I get on FaceTime with you. I'm available on Skype, FaceTime, Facebook, Amazon Show, and I'm getting a Gbo, so I don't know how that one works. But I'm available to face contact with you, even if you're going to be inspected on a Monday. I'd like to get with you on Sunday. Review everything in your book. Some things have to be dated before the inspector comes out. It doesn't matter if it's a day before. From the time Bobby comes out and sets up your book to the time you're inspected, even if it's only 2 months, laws change that quickly from the EPD, and they're changing more and more. They're getting more restrictive, very restrictive on the things that they're allowing. It used to be every 2 to 3 years the inspection. They're coming out every 1.5 to 2 years. They don't care that they've seen the records previously. The records are now overlapping, so you're going to have to show all those records that are overlapping. So it's really important. The service we provide is essential to your business.
I've said this many times before. The chance of you being audited by the IRS is less than 1/2, 1%.
Mm-hmm.
The chance of you being audited by the EPD is 100%.
Okay.
How much do you charge? What are the fees?
Our fee is $500 for the whole year. I bring out a book. I go with you item by item. I go on the EPD database first and see what information you have in your store. And based on that's what determines what the inspectors will be looking for at your store. And I go with you item by item, every requirement that the EPD has for your store. The book's organized around the EPD inspection form. Like right now, there's like 9 sections of the form, or there's 9 sections of the book. There's a section of the book for each one of their sections.
You see Bobby once. You see Bobby twice a year usually, but if you really need to see if we can get him out there, kind of work with me the most.
Really,
That's great.
really, my memory's real bad. So I remember said it's not. Being inspected, come out to your store. I put together a corrective action plan on your computer. I'll send it to the inspector. I'll say, for your inspection such facility. My memory's shot.
Just make sure it's not shot when you do the inspection.
Well, anyway, I put together a corrective action plan. I send the inspector saying, for your inspection such facility, we'll be submitting following information per your request. And I address every item on their inspection list as far as violations. Then I put this to be submitted at. I give the different parties of where they'll be coming from.
But they all need to come to me.
They all come to Jen.
From these
But
people.
Jen makes sure these different parties send Jen the information, and Jen sends the information to the.
Because I've got to
EPD.
relabel everything so the EPD can understand it, because they're like preschool children. Okay? And they will lose all your stuff. That's why they have the new Geo system. Because they make so many errors, they had to have the system fixed where things can be done through the Geo system. Trust me, except for Rachel, I can't say anything bad about her. But they do, they lose it all the time. I got a call from Yazra just 2 days ago, telling me that she can't find anything from a 2016 inspection that was completed. 2016. And so I had to forward everything back to her from the email. And I mean, they're overloaded. They're swamps. And if they lose something, you get fined. And if you faxed it to them, they don't have a record of the fax. They've lost it. They don't care. They don't want to hear it. But I have proof that it was sent. I have everything documented individually. And you're in good hands with Bobby and Jen.
The best.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom,
Okay, so we're gonna go over SIRs.
Hey, Tom, you gonna pass these out?
Now, do you have to do an SIR if you have a view?
That's
No.
a good
But
question, Tommy.
it's
That's an excellent
kind of-
question.
We're gonna cross. There's like a crossover on that.
Let me say something about that. A lot of people think there's two methods of release detection.
I should have.
There's automatic tank gauge, you can have a beater root or incline or something to that extent. The other method is SIR. Now, a lot of people have beater roots or tank gauges, but it's not necessarily union reports that you're required to have. For example, you have to have a tank tightness test done, or a printed report of a tank tightness test done every month. You have something called CSLD. There's a good probability your system will pass those tests. When Spectrum comes out there, they want to see 3 years of those test reports off your beater root. But a lot of beater roots or tank gauges don't work, don't have the right type of software. In that case, you got to do SIR.
Well, we'll get to that. Okay, so this is SIR. This is how a lot of people monitor their daily records. They dip the stick, they write out the beginning total, the gallons sold, any deliveries, and then the end of day recording. We recommend you fill this out whether you have a Vita root or not. Okay, this is a great backup system. EPD also has a little extra respect for you when they see this because they know you're not full of and that you really care about, monitoring your records correctly. A lot of people don't monitor them correctly. These are in your book.
Your biggest cost of inventory is probably gasoline. By doing the SR report, every day you're comparing how many gallons are in my tank versus how many gallons should be in my
So
tank.
if you're leaking, you're going to know right away.
So if Tommy's shorting you on gas, that's what we'll show you. I'm serious.
1% plus 130 gallons?
That's federal allowable variance.
Right.
But it's if you have beater that's working, by doing SR, inventory reconciliation, like I said, you're seeing every day how many gallons in my tank versus how many gallons should be in my tank. So if you're losing a product by a leak or people stealing gas or whatever, doing the SR inventory control sheet is.
Okay, so on page 3 of this SIR, I chose this one because I worked really hard with this store who had horrible records. They had inconclusive failures. They processed 6 months at a time. And then I worked really hard with them, and I'm really proud because they've got excellent records now. I was able to negotiate down their fine because the EPD was able to see the progress. There was problems, and we were able to fix it over time. So they did reduce the fine on this one from $1,500 to $500. So this is the example I'm using. This is a proper way to keep the records for your SIRs. If you look on the next page, this is correct, but if you do it by hand, in fact, I can't process these for this client, okay? He's like 14,000 gallons over, 15,000 gallons short, because he has mathematical errors all the way through it, okay? And I don't process, I literally, like you can go to any of these local places and process your SIRs, maybe save $1, but if you have something wrong, you're going to get inconclusives or failures. They don't care about you. They just want to make the money off the business, and then you're going to fail. You're still going to have to pay a fine. You may not have to pay as much of a fine, but the EPD is going to make you pay a fine because that's what they do. Okay? But I will not process them unless I know it's passing. If it's not passing, I'm going to get on the phone with you, We're going to go over why it's not passing. We're going to go over what's wrong with the numbers. Let me see here. And maybe you need a new tank chart. You know, I'll get you anything you need, but I will not process it until it passes. Okay? And we use the best processing company in America. They process through the whole country, and she has my back too. She won't process them unless they pass. She'll once I go through the section, I type in all these numbers, every single one of them. I don't send them the form. I literally type every one of them in. And so if you look on the next page, I get a lot of these. You're going to fail there's 3 sections of the SIRs that's required by the EPD. Raw data sheets, which are the last 3 sheets I showed you. Okay? The second page, I guess I should have told you what order to put these in. Daily data report, okay? And the first page, your monthly report. And there's been, as of late, so I won't name the companies, but there's been
SIR reports.
Yeah, 2 processes. Muhammad process SIR.
That will help you if you have a leak. That's gonna be your worst nightmare, right? Because if that water gets in the ground and gets your drinking water, you got a serious issue. And Gus Fund pays up to how much before they?
20.
This guy $10,000 deductible.
$10,000 deductible. So if you do have a problem, you do use the Gus Fund, you gotta pay the first.
The one requirement of being eligible with Gus Fund is you have to have 3 years of records, or they won't pay.
So this is one of the most important because if it doesn't have a processing date on the top, the EPD will not accept it. And we've just come to learn that an older company that some of you might know do not have this date on them. They have a printing date. And the EPD is now not accepting any of those. We don't use that company. We use Total Sir, and they are nationwide, and they are absolutely the best.
How many tests you have to do per year? Like what kind of a test you have to do? Record.
Well,
Type test.
and it changes quite frequently now because the EPD is adding more tests. Every year you need to do your annual line and leak detector. Some people's sections don't need to do leak, right?
It depends what type
It
of
depends. But we refer out to AA, and we think they're the best because they offer the most services at the best prices. I've also gotten with the manager, Carol, and I've asked her to offer you guys anything that they can give you at no extra cost. So when they go out, I have them take pictures of everything because pictures don't lie. And sometimes they give you a Bobby Brown discount if you have to have repairs done. And then sometimes I try to negotiate even better pricing if you have 2 stores next to each other and you test on the same day. I'll be like, you give them like $25 off each store. I mean, every little dollar helps, you know. We don't make any money off of it. We just want to provide you with the services that are going to be best for you because you have to spend a lot of money taking care of these stores. People don't realize that.
We don't have our time constraints. We got a couple more things we got to go real quick.
We're almost. We have.
Our 2 minutes.
Oh shoot. Okay, so moving right along to HEGs.
Did you print these out, Tommy?
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost done.
On this one, I highlighted the violation on the inspection form. What is, we got a couple examples of test tapes. The key thing is you got the Incon, the Veeder-Root, whatever type of tank gauge you have to have a report every month showing all your tanks have passed. PASS. If it says anything ever passed, like invalid, failed, you'll be fine.
1 month.
1 month.
You will be fine. Luckily, I was at an inspection on Friendship Road because the owner couldn't be there, so I went in his stead. I was able to negotiate that one off right then and there.
Well, one last handout.
We're almost done.
One last handout, Tommy. This time to discuss this.
Okay, so while he's getting that out, let me go over this with you real quick. If you're in the program, We do recommend that you send me a copy of your HEGs if you're running a Vita root or an Icon, okay? It's a second pair of eyes. Plus, if you don't have, like if you miss a month, I can call you and say, I didn't get a month of these. Some people send them weekly, and some people send them monthly, okay? If you send them weekly, then we can definitely make sure if you have a problem that I can call you, and if you miss it saying failed, I can say, okay, are you keeping the daily data sheets dipping or writing it off your, I'm not in the store, but you know, then we can, at least if we have 1 week failure, then I can be like, okay, let's call Veeder-Root, let's find out what the problem is, but send me everything you've got handwritten for that month or on the computer, and we'll process that 1 month for you. And that way the EPD will see, oh look, you know, they're covering themselves. Now for the environment, I appreciate that. I have children, grandchildren. But yes, some send them weekly.
Time up.
Oh, well, okay, one last
Hold
thing.
on, Tom.
No, you're right.
Almost done.
No, we're not.
You got 1 minute.
I know, this takes a lot.
Let me give this last,
You do the last one.
oh, your last one, we just had out a form, it's got a new inspection form, EPD's got a new inspection form. We don't have time to go over it. Previous form was 2 pages, this one's 3 pages.
Always
So-
get kicked out.
In your spare time, you just go over that. There's a lot of new regulations, there's a lot of new records you have to maintain. Obviously, you don't have time to go over that right now, but this is going to be the new inspection
If you
form.
have any questions, you can talk to Bobby.
Yeah.
After the meeting. Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Samira.
Again, this is very important, EPD, because if you don't want to be fined,